Today on 10-Minute IT Jams, we have Myles Bertrand, who is the Managing Director of APAC for Mambu. So Mambu is a software as a service banking platform, providing technology to banks and offers to power lending, deposit, and other banking products. So welcome to the Jam, Myles.
Thanks, Nick. Great to be here.
Thank you. So to start off, for viewers that haven't come across Mambu, don't know who you guys are, can you tell us a bit about the company?
So we're 10 years old this year. It's our 10-year anniversary. We were launched in Berlin in 2011, and great news. We actually reached unicorn status this year, which the company is incredibly excited about. And fundamentally, what Mambu does is we provide the brain or the engine on how banks work, predominantly sort of the next generation and the new digital banks. So we're really at the heart of what they're trying to do: change banking, allow digitization, better customer experience, and Mambu is a real enabler for that.
Cool. So going in a bit further on what you just said, how does Mambu cloud banking platform in particular differ from your competitors?
So I guess the one thing, core banking is not a new thing. It's been around for a long time, and there's been a lot of iterations of that. I guess where we're a little bit different is we are truly a cloud native SaaS offering. So we really were born in the cloud. We really believe in the fundamentals of allowing the flexibility of utilizing the cloud. So, you have a lot of great organizations that have been in the space for a long time and really provide a great service as well. But we really believe we are the next generation. So the speed and flexibility that we can provide our customers using our software as a service approach really allows our customers to do things a lot faster, a lot more innovative, and they can really deliver different customer experiences. And the speed that they can respond to things like coronavirus, like COVID-19, being able to get new loans out the door, payment holidays, really provide a great experience for those that may be struggling through the current pandemic, is really where Mambu sort of comes to the fore, and we really provide a point of differentiation.
Right, yeah. And I know you just said a couple of benefits of the cloud when it comes to banking, but are there any other ones that pop to your head?
I mean, the thing, I guess, the cloud's been around for a while, and there's always been skepticism about its, scalability, its security. But I think now you're seeing a lot of services, a lot of workloads are run in the cloud successfully. The organizations that provide public cloud offerings such as AWS are really solid in how they look at security, protecting customers' data. It really allows you to scale really quickly and support it. And, it really is a cheaper model. Gone are the days where the banks have to run these massive mainframe systems on premise. They can utilize the power of the cloud, scale as they need to really support what they need to do. And that could include, particular use cases that they want to do really quickly. They don't have to sort of do this significant investment or a lot of work in-house. They can really use the power of partners like AWS and Mambu to really solve the problem for them.
Yeah. And obviously in the last 12 months, we've all encountered our issues in all of our different companies. So I guess in the context of the last 12 months and broader than that, what are the problems that Mambu is trying to solve?
Well, I think actually it's really interesting. Mambu was sort of built on a fundamental philosophy that we really wanted to make banking different. Our founders were really passionate about the fact that there's a massive underbanked market. Getting access to financial services was not cost effective for a lot of well-established banks. So Mambu was really built on the philosophy that we could provide banking capability and banking services at a more effective and cost-effective model. We could do it very quickly and really drive out into those markets with the speed. And I think, yeah, as we both mentioned previously, what's happened with the pandemic, the ability for banks to respond really, really quickly, a lot of them have struggled because they really are sort of caught up in these sort of big legacy approaches to technology. So they can't, yes, they can get product out the door, but their typical cycle is 6 to 9 months. where you want people that actually, or you want the capability that you can actually deploy something very, very quickly to meet a specific need in the market. So that's where Mambu really thinks we are different. We really believe on configuration as opposed to sort of investing a lot of time with engineers and developers to build out capability. And that's something that we really, really want to do. And we find that actually allows us by connecting with other solutions. So we work very much with system partners to solve the problem, rather than these sort of big end-to-end technology investments that's been required previously by financial institutions.
Yeah, and you mentioned previously that Mambu was started in Berlin and is based out of Berlin. But what are the operations that you guys have in the APAC region?
So we've grown quite rapidly over the past 2 to 3 years. So we now have a team of about 45 Mambuvians, as we call ourselves, on the ground across Asia Pacific. But we're actually looking to double the team this year. So we actually are growing through a massive growth phase. We've got pretty good market penetration. We're in about 10 countries now, supporting about 30 clients. And we're very active in some of the key markets like Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, Thailand. But if I go back to what I was saying before and the fundamentals of Mambu and why our founders really set us up, Asia Pacific is a massive market of underbanked and underserved. If you look at some markets like the Philippines and Indonesia, you have massive penetration with mobile phones and digital capability, yet only 30 to 40% of the population are banked. So we really believe, and we're very focused on delivering again that expectation of actually supporting the digitization with financial services. So we really are investing heavily on our people. We're very, very focused on the Asia Pacific market. Most recently, we've actually just moved very much into sort of Islamic banking and Sharia banking in the Malaysian and Indonesian markets. So we really are trying to drive that whole philosophy around financial inclusion. And then, but again, also allow well-established banks to actually start to think differently about how they're, and actually future-proof. Because I fundamentally believe, and I think our organization does, is that banking will continue to evolve and could be very, very different, in the next 3 to 4 years. The expectation of the customer is very different on how a bank supports them to how it was, 5-10 years ago, which it makes it an incredibly exciting time and a real exciting time for Mambu that we can be an enabler of that to really support our customers.
Right, yeah, sounds good. And finally, how can people get in touch with Mambu?
We're a digital organization, so we can also, we really encourage people to visit our website. There's also an email address, which is helloapac@mambu.com. And the thing that's really important about Mambu is that we don't just service banks. We actually have a very, very diverse customer base. So we support a lot of non-bank lenders, the buy now, pay later, mortgage brokers, so you don't just have to be a bank to be a CB partner. We see a lot of activity around the globe with other financial services types. So a lot of telecommunications companies, insurance companies are now starting to move into financial services. And that's really where someone like a Mambu can really support them and help them diversify how they support their customers.
Okay, cool. Well, that concludes today's 10-minute IT Jam with Mambu Managing Director for APAC, Myles Bertrand. Thank you so much for coming on today, Myles.
Thanks, Nick. Great to talk.